Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing my complete eyebrow tutorial, which has been highly requested on my Instagram page. So let's just go ahead and jump right on into it. First off, I take a spoolie and I brush all of my eyebrow hairs completely up, just so that way I can get a smooth and effortless line underneath my brows. And then I take the Anastasia Brow Wiz, and this is just in taupe, which I normally use blonde, but I don't think I could find blonde, so I think taupe kind of just took over for blonde. I'm not 100%, but I pretty much just draw a complete line. I'm sorry, I know I'm not in the shot, but I promise I fix it later. So I basically, and then I continue to go back and forth between my spoolie and my Anastasia brow wiz, and for some reason I was an idiot and forgot that there was a spoolie at the end, which is at the end of the brow wiz, which is my favorite spoolie of all time, but I continued to use this crappy one that just came from like Walmart. But pretty much I just draw a line at the top of my brow and at the bottom of my brow, and then I just try to diffuse it using the spoolie. And then I go in with Blonde Dip Brow Pomade by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I pretty much just go in. This is my favorite brush of all time for my brows. This is the Makeup Forever, or I'm sorry, the Makeup MUA, I think it's Makeup Academy MUA angled eyeliner brush. I picked this up at CVS because they now carry it in CVS. And because it's so thin, it reminds me of the MAC 119 or 219 or something like that. It's really, really thin. It's an amazing brush. And with the pomade, I do like to wet the brush with Fix Plus because I feel like the pomade is really dry. I don't know if it's just mine or what, but I like to wet my brush with Max Fix Plus and then go in with the pomade because I feel like it makes it just a little bit more wetter and a lot easier to work with because my brows are really coarse and I don't know, I just have to have something wet, and I just go in and I just fill everything in, and I go ahead and once I have everything, once I have all of the product distributed on my brow, I go into the front of my brow and just kind of shade it in a little bit. And we're going to work on the other side because I thought that I wasn't in focus on the other one, so I tried really hard to make sure I was in focus on this one, doing the exact same thing. Brushing all the eyebrow hairs up, going with the Anastasia Brow Wiz, and creating my bottom line, diffusing that line out with the spoolie brush, and then going in and creating the line on the top. And I have a fan blowing, so it kept blowing my hair in my face because our air conditioner has been broken for like ever now. Thankfully, they're coming out tomorrow to fix it. So that's pretty much the base that I have with the Brow Wiz, and then I wet my brush, and then I go in back to the pomade. I work some of the product in, and then I go in and fill everything in. And as you can see, once I have everything distributed, which I'm going back in for more now, but once I have all of the product distributed off the brush, I flip it sideways and I go ahead and create the front of my brow. And I'm not too worried about being precise or anything because I do go in and fix it with concealer, so I'm not very worried. So I just try to make sure that they're as even as possible. My eyebrows are on 2 different levels, so whatever. But this is the MAC Embark eyeshadow. It's just a reddish toned brown. I just like how deep it is for the tail of my brow, and I just go in with a very little bit of it, and I go in ahead and define the outer part of my brow, the tail end, and I blend it completely forward. My problem is I always notice in pictures, sometimes I don't do that great of a job at blending right here, that deep color in with the lighter colors. So I just need to make sure, it's the hardest thing to do, is just make sure it's blended. So once I do that, I try to go in with my spoolie again and completely comb them out and blend it, and then go back in with color if I need to. But the best part about this thing is if you're going to go in with such a dark color like Embark, it's kind of on the sketchy side, so be very, very careful with it. And just make sure you go in with a spoolie and blend everything really well, because that's where my problem lies. Sometimes I don't blend it enough. And then I'm going in with MAC's Pro Longwear Concealer in NW15. And this is just another brush from Walmart, and going in and defining everything and cleaning everything up. Defining my tail and making it a lot slimmer. Just make sure you blend this out and be very careful because Pro Longwear can get on your actual brow hairs, and I hate that. So just be super, super careful. And just go in and completely, which right here I'm going to get it on my brow hair and it's going to drive me crazy. And I just try to go in and define everything, clean everything up. Sometimes I go in on the top, but I did a pretty good job at the top today, so I didn't feel like I needed to. Now these dark brows, I mean, compared to my hair, obviously, are really, really dark. But for me, I like it. So I don't know what to tell you. I love the dark brow. I think it looks better than when I try to do the taupey kind of ash colored brows. I just don't like that. I like for my eyebrows to be dark and warm, kind of like a brunette, but I'm a blonde, so. This is the Great Lash mascara, clear mascara from Maybelline. I just really like to go in, and this is the part where I like to really blend it, and I have to wipe off a lot of the product off, and this is what I use to blend everything, so that way I don't have that huge disconnection between the two colors, and plus it kind of lightens everything up just a little bit, so, but I like my brows the way they are. So that's pretty much everything that I do. Thank you guys so much for watching, and oh, and I go in with a highlight, obviously. I use Buff from the Lorac Pro 2 palette, and then I go in with Snow and just highlight the brow, but that honestly, it's not something I do every day in my tutorial, or every day in my routine. I just did it for the sake of the video. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!